This is your garbage trash browser, and this is Opera GX. You see this difference?
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bone Zone. I'm your host, Just here. We're gonna turn that down just a hair. Okay. Hello everybody, welcome to the Bone Zone. I am your host, Just here, bringing you I'm not sure if it's much anticipated, but the eventual return to the Pokemon Nuzlocke challenges here that I do. So, and good evening to you as well. So for those who may or may not have been aware of this, what we do is we play the Pokemon games, we play them with a specific set of rules to incur a higher difficulty. Glad I can catch it. Love this time. I think the wording on that's messing me up. So what it normally entails is we go through the games. Anytime we go into a new area, the first Pokemon we encounter is the only one we are allowed to catch. And that's if we catch it. If it faints or runs away, it's kind of tough luck, tough nails. The next rule is if you catch a Pokemon or are given a Pokemon, you must nickname it if you are able to. So, for example, I believe there's trades even in this generation, in the first generation here, that you can't change the names on, and at that point, it's technically already nicknamed, but it is what it is. So that's the second normal rule. The third normal rule, or the main key rule I should say, is if a Pokemon faints, it is considered deceased, and in my case, I put it at the next available opportunity, I put it in a box labeled cemetery, if I'm able to label it. I don't believe I'm able to call boxes anything specific this gen, but normally I will label it as cemetery. They will go there until the end of the run, successful or not, in which case I will release it. So, a couple other small notes is... Okay. So, I do species clause a little bit different, or the dupes clause a little bit differently. I do it by species, not by like family. That might be the theme, yeah. Though I don't know a lot of names of cookies, so it'll at some point it might change halfway through the run or something like that. But as far as for the dupes clause rule that I go by, so the example I always go by is in like the first couple routes in this game, you come across Pidgey. And Pidgey evolves twice into Pidgeotto and Pidgeot, respectively. If I evolve it into Pidgeotto and then at some point lose that Pidgeotto, if I come across another Pidgeotto, it will be a dupes clause, and I can re-roll that encounter. However, if something happens to that Pidgey before it even becomes a Pidgeotto, and it's gone, and then I come across a Pidgeotto, that Pidgeotto will be my encounter. I'll try to do my best here. Real quick. So, anything else I will explain kind of as we go. We're gonna set it to fast. Because I actually just want to get through the games and beat them, I'm gonna leave it on shift, but battle animations are gonna still be on. So to explain the little setup I have. So up there above the screen are the 8 badges. In this case, badges. Sometimes they'll be a little different, and I'll get to representing those when I come across them. They will appear like not colored whatsoever if I do not have them, and once I have obtained them, they will regain their color. So all of them are Cephotone, and they have no color at the moment because I don't have them. Then below the screen, starting from the left, we have the 6 slots for the Pokemon team. Right now they are question marks because I don't have anything in said slots. And I will update those as we get Pokemon. I'm always going to name the trainer after myself and the rival Nuzlocke in some way, shape, or form, because I want to beat Nuzlocke. Okay. And then to the right of the 6 slots, there is a death counter, which I will increase and such forth as it occurs, and a max level cap, which is the highest level of the upcoming gym. So, like each upcoming gym has a max gym leader. Here we go. We'll go widescreen because I'm a madman. So, for example, the first gym in this game is Brock, the Rock-type gym leader. His highest level Pokemon, he only has 2, is Onix at level 14. So our team, until we beat him, cannot exceed level 14. It can be exactly 14, but it cannot be 15 or more. And then the other stipulation is with the death count, at the end of the run, whatever that number is, will be the exact dollar amount that I will donate to Doctors Without Borders. That way it kind of incentivizes me to be a little more aware of my choices. Okay, so we're gonna go about starting the intro. Gary's gonna yell. Blah, blah, blah. I was a young lad. He's now 200,000 years old. Okay. So, one of the other, like, mini rolls that I do is the starter is chosen at random. So, I'm going to... Bear with me one moment here. Okay, so I have a wheel with the fire starter, the water starter, and the grass starter. We're going to spin the wheel, and whatever it gives us is what we're going to run with. Grass? Okay. Oh, thank you. That that definitely incentivizes me to also try to do even more to keep everything. That is decided. Give me one moment. Ba, 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 ba. Wait, what? Okay, that's weird. Anyway, so grass is what we rolled. That's not grass. I think it's this one. Yep. Okay, here's Bulbasaur. We have received Bulbasaur. Alright, what do we want to name the Bulbasaur? What cookie is a Bulbasaur? Say, any recommendations on names for Bulbasaur, our starter? Oatmeal. Okay. You know what? We'll even dignify it. We'll oatmeal. We'll put the space in. Okay. So, some may have noticed it, some may not. But before we had left the house, the first thing I did was to grab the potion out of the computer in our room. The reason is to reassure this fight. Even though technically the run does not start until you get Pokeballs, I just want to make sure this fight goes a lot more in my favor, because if we can get the experience for this, that's a lot more grinding down, because unfortunately I'm, at least not to my awareness at this moment in time, there isn't a way for me to rare candy everything up to where I want it to be. Okay, I think I do gotta use the potion because I think I'm in crit range. Also, how's the volume on that? Is that okay, or do I need to bring it up or bring it down? Okay, so we are going to do a couple things real quick. Unfortunately, the transition music is something I don't believe I can adjust, unfortunately. It might be something I had to look forward to, or look to, like once I decide to, like, change my layup and whatnot. Oh, that's right, she won't do that until after I go and get Oak's parcel. Okay, so we're going through Route 1. We're going to... There's more likely a good chance we're going to come across Pokemon as we go by. Our encounters don't start until after we have bought Pokeballs. So these do not count towards our encounters. And Oatmeal missed. Come on, Oatmeal. Okay. So, the question of the day. This guy's name is Jeffrey. Is he gonna get in our way? No, Jeffrey was nice today. Okay. Oh, also, while I'm at it, I need to update this to be... our little Bulbasaur friend. Okay. Ugh. So, one thing I will say, I think it's a very great boon to have Bulbasaur as a starter for Nuzlocke, because not only, like, I mean, a lot of people often think, you know, oh, well, because grass types are good against not only Misty, but also Brock as well, so the first two gyms are easy with it. However, there is another secret reason why Bulbasaur is very good, and that is because it is partially poison type, which means once we get through Viridian City, once we go to Viridian Forest and beyond there, anything that tries to poison us cannot, because we're already a poison type. So we are immune to that status effect with Bulbasaur at the very least. Or Oatmeal, I should say. So we don't have to necessarily rely on Nidoran, male or female, for trying to not get poisoned. Though it definitely would help for switch-ins if we got an extra one. That, and because later in the game, Nidoking, more so than Nidoqueen, is a very good Pokemon. But because we have Bulbasaur, it is not make or break. Okay, so we go here. Deliver Professor Oak his balls. Laugh track ensues. So something that always has like made me wonder how it's happened. So Professor Oak said that, or Gary said that he was called in by Professor Oak, like after we run up, grab the parcel, and come back. But in the Pokemon universe, like at least when the games came out, the concept of a cell phone owned by a child was like not a thing until the next generation. So how did he call Gary? Okay, so how would he home phone though if he's out training? Like if he's out in the wild training. Alright, so before we go out, head to Viridian and all that, we are going to heal up with our mom. Okay. Up, right, left. Right, but like, actually, I don't even think in this game. I don't think he actually asks you to get his parcel. You just kind of stumble upon it when you go into the Pokemon Center or the Pokemart. Too many. Alright, Nuzlocke has officially begun. We are going to start with our encounters on Route 1. There is a 50-50 chance for this route, 50% chance Rattata, and then 50% chance Pidgey. Not entirely sure who I would want, but because, well, Rattata does get some nice like stabs, so like especially in this game, like Hyper Beam being physical is something, like Hyper Beam is something that's just absolutely absurd. And the fact that like Rattata can get stab off that is not a mean thing, not a thing to scoff at. That and things, I think it could still learn Body Slam, and it also gets some weird things too, like Bubble Beam. So that's a little neat little thing. And then Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, mostly Pidgeotto. Because that's what we're going to be, if we do get that, that's what we would have most of the game. It's fast, and it gets a lot of normal stabs, but it's not a very good hit. That's true. Speed crits are also pretty important. So critical hits in other games are a set percentage. In this game is based off your speed. So I think in that regard, at least in Generation 1, I think I would want Pidgey over Rattata, but I'm okay with either. We're just gonna throw a ball. Alright. Rattata's cookie name. I think Rattata should be like the most basic of cookie. Is there just like I don't think sugar cookie, but like, is there just like a plain cookie, like no chocolate chips or anything, just a flat cookie? Sugar's probably the only one. Okay, we'll go with sugar cookie. That's fine. Ooh, I actually like biscuit a lot more. As far as the order, like I'm going to update the images for the team, but as far as like the order, I am not going to change. Okay, so that's Route 1. We are going to go up to Route 2. And there is a method to the madness here. So we're going to go to Route 2. And we're going to get this encounter. So now that we have Rattata, the only encounters I believe that are possible here are 3 Pokemon. Pidgey, as we had before, Caterpie, and I think a very, very slim chance of Metapod. Oh, no, it's just Caterpie or Pidgey. If we want the Butterfree line, which would actually be kind of neat, it's kind of good, I definitely would want Caterpie over Metapod. Especially when that, like, if we can evolve that pretty fast, which it can, then we can actually have a decent different encounter pool in Viridian Forest, and even a possible shot at a Pikachu. Not that a Pikachu's like something to really shoot for, but it's an interesting thing to try to go for. So we got the Caterpie, so we're just gonna ball it and hope it decides to be our friend. Alright, Caterpie cookie. I say, well, you peanut butter. Do I have enough characters for that? Peanut. Butter. I think this is okay. Peanut butter. Like it's an angry peanut butter. Alright, give me one sec, because I'm gonna update the sprite. Okay. It is a hard limit. And that's not even with a space in between peanut and butter. Not that I don't, if I recall, I don't think it needs it for that context, but for some people who really do care about that. So we are going to heal. Actually, I don't think we've taken a single hit, so I don't even need to heal. We'll just swap some team around. And we're going to actually take a little detour because we're going to go down to Route 23? I think it's 23. This route is the one route I can't remember the actual number for. Okay. Apparently we're having quite a bit of good happen today. Because that's a really good hit, if we can catch this. Alright, Nidoran. Male name for a cookie. Wait, cowboy? Cowboy is actually a cookie type? Can you, like, link me the thing to so I can see what a cowboy cookie is? Cowboy cookie. Oh, so it's basically like a chocolate chip cookie but with nuts in it. Is that what I'm picking up here? Sorry, I'm just trying to see. Okay. Trash can cookie. Okay. But yeah, we'll go with cowboy. Okay, so I think what I want to do before we head into Viridian Forest is I want to level up the team to, I'd say, at least like 8. And then once I get out of the forest, get to level either like 12 or 13, depending on how like bored I am of grinding by then. Which will probably be pretty. Can you, real quick, can you tell me what the number is for the route to the left of Viridian City? Because I legit forget, and I think my nuzlocke tracker doesn't know what the hell it is either. Because if I can find out what number it is, I can, and it doesn't come up for Nidoran, I can just manually enter it. 24. No, 24 is above Celadon, or not Celadon, Cerulean, because that's where you can find Oddish and Abra. I know it's definitely a 20. I know it's in the 20s. I can't remember if it's 22 or 23. I think it's a one of those two. Okay. I'm gonna switch to peanut butter. Ooh, crit. Now that knowing like the context of what a cowboy cookie is, I think it's actually pretty fitting considering how Nidoran Male's first gen back sprite looks. Yeah, I just straight up didn't know what a cowboy cookie was because I'm not very into bakery myself. O. Scoochie. I don't follow what that is. Is that another cookie or? Ooh. If you say so, man. I just know it's definitely not my favorite. Paris is not your favorite. I know that for a fact. Oh, so you're just gonna leave your boy Dugong out to dry then? So I'm gonna tell Dugong that you've been cheating on it on it with Paris. I have a feeling the only reason like Paris has become, because I know you used to always tell me Dugong was your favorite, but I feel like now the reason that you say Paris is your favorite is just because of Legends Arceus. The other pure rage that is Paris. That it does. Hell, even outside of Stadium 2, just Gen 2, it was a rest talking. It was pretty good, a rest talker. Okay, we're gonna switch the heck out there. So, with that being said, I'm assuming that you're definitely aware of, like being a fan of Paris, you kind of have to admit to some degree that it's not very good. Like, not like design-wise or anything, but just, like, power-wise. Like, Game Freak, even up to nowadays, just hasn't even looked at it. Okay, so we've made that clear, and so we are aware that once we get to Mount Moon, it is one that we don't want to get. If we can get a Geodude there, is probably like the best chance scenario, but honestly, it's kind of Geodude's the only one I really would want out of Mount Moon. Like, Zubat's not the greatest, at least not in this gen, because Golbat's okay-ish for a little bit, and you don't get Crobat till next gen. But, and then Clefairy is a jack of all trades. It can learn a lot of things, but its stats aren't actually all that good. At least for Gen 1, if I recall. And then, yeah, Paris is literally the very bottom of the bucket there. Though, with any luck, we'll have enough peeps on the team that I won't have to look at that. But there is a very good possibility that there might be a death or two by then. It's kind of hard to say, because sometimes the fights... Heck, even Viridian Forest early on can really jack your team building up if you're not careful. Yeah, I will say having two... I think having Oatmeal and Cowboy makes us good for, like, trying to walk through Viridian Forest without having to worry about poison. But also the fact that we have Peanut Butter too is kind of really... is actually really good. Well, I mean, that's, like, making you donate money is not my goal. My overall goal is to bring content and to hopefully not peter out like I did last time I tried these challenges and actually get through. Because I know once I get past, like, the earlier gens, it kind of gets a little bit, like, less... It's a little bit easier to grind in some cases. Just this first couple of gen grinds is... And that's the thing, like... Once I finally get through blue, I'm not going to Gen 2. I'm going to red, and then yellow, and then go to Gen 2. Like, I'm going to try to complete every game in a gen before moving on. That being said, there's a pair of games in the series that I've never really knew how people would like do the challenges for, and that's like because the games are structured completely different, and that's Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness. Like, how do you nuzlocke those? I mean, XD has a little bit more ability to, just because like there actually is a wild encounter. It's very limited though, so it's already in itself a nuzlocke, like at least with XD's catch mechanic. But I was not paying attention. That's sad. So that's unfortunate. Hold on one sec. Is my... Oh, I think I know why that's not going up. Here we go. Okay. Pidgey has been seeded. And then, well, and then in the meantime, until we get Cowboy out of the party, he'll be grayed out to show that he's dead. And I guess that kind of goes to show, like, part of the problem with Nuzlocke is, like, you had to really pay attention, and that's something I definitely just did not do. Also, Cat, I swear, you were messing up my audio, and we're gonna have a fight. need to go. Now, come on. Get down. Biscuit is now level 5, however, and Peanut Butter is level 4. But we do have to say goodbye to Cowboy. Can't believe you shooed away that Meowth encounter. What Meowth encounter? We are nowhere near a Meowth. Oh, listen, my cat is anything but a Meowth. He is like, oh, let's see what. He's like a purloin, and a really snooty one at that. So we're gonna take the grayscale off, and big question mark, please. Plus that Meowth encounter was messing up my audio, so I think I should switch because I think I'm in crit range there. I'm just surprised that it did that much. Ooh, I gotta think a sec. I think I just go for it. Yeah. Hashtag risk it for the biscuit. I think my overall goal for tonight is to get past Viridian Forest. That way we can kind of just grind along a little bit of Viridian and stuff like that. Ooh, that was not even a crit. Literally, literally, peanut butter needs two experience to level up. Oh, that is so asinine. That was a crit? Meanwhile, the second attack looks like it did just as much as the first one, and it wasn't a crit. Alright. Peanut Butter is level 5. If I recall, it's 2 more until Metapod. Because I think it's 7, then 12. Or 7 and 10. 7, 10. And the reason I remember 12 is because 12 is when Butterfree gets Confusion. Peanut Butter, how could you miss? I think if this is not a crit, we'll switch out. Okay. Ooh. That's a little frightening. Honestly, I think the part that like obviously like when you're playing a Pokemon game for a nuzlocke purpose, like there's definitely some fights that you worry about in the upcoming future. Well, there is obviously the stat boost, but the main important part, at least for this early on, at least in my particular run of it, like how I do the Dupes Clause, is it allows me to completely skip the Caterpie line when in Viridian Forest. So that means I have 3 encounters, which is either Weedle, Kakuna, or Pikachu. But in blue, it is very less likely to encounter Kakuna or Weedle. Like, I mean, obviously it'll apply the opposite effect whenever we start to red. Like if we get Weedle and then go from there. But like, as it stands, like we can Dupes Clause out the Metapod and Caterpie. At least if we can get to Metapod. And then from there, like get a new encounter. Like it's definitely more likely not going to be Pikachu, because if I recall, it's on the like it's either 1 or 5%, but I want to say lean towards it's a 1%. At least in red and blue. But like, regardless of what we get, like having the Metapod, and then if we can get it to level 12 as a Butterfree and learn Confusion, Brock is a piece of cake. Like Brock is ours. And I don't think Bulbasaur even has to look at that gym. Like, one second. Rock moose? What do you mean? Okay, Nighty Nights. I don't know. Yeah, in Gen 1, he has absolutely no rock moves. Like his TM is literally Bide, which is garbage. Straight dog shit garbage. Ooh, that was a good crit hit. 2 crits in a row. What? 124 for level to get to level 7. Come on, Biscuit. I think we survive a crit. Let's see. Man, this Rattata is not hitting anything. Okay. 58 to 7. Oh wait, I didn't even get hit, so yeah, I can keep going. That was Biscuit that just held up, right? Yeah. Okay. Alright, guys, I think we're going to call it there for tonight, because the grinding is starting to get a little tedious, and I don't want to burn myself out. So, you can always, as always, you can always hit up any of my previous content up there at my YouTube channel. You can always catch me live here at Twitch whenever I do go live. I am going to try to continue on with this series. I'm going to try my best to not get burnt out on it this time. I can't make any promises though. So we will just try to go from it where we can. But in the meantime, I will see you guys next time.